It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. What's that face?
No, just looking at myself.
Whatever happened to you doing your evil mustache?
You do the well. Actually, there is no ad read. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna be right back.
No, you know what? Go do it because one of our sponsors today is Tej Hanley, which last week I did the ad read and I pronounced it TJ Hanley because I misread the ad copy and I thought the pronunciation said T/J, and really it's pronounced like Siege, like Tej Hanley. So this is for men's grooming and skincare that makes you look sharp and makes you look good. And a guy like John, he's got to take care of that mustache. He's got to take care of that face. We've all got to take care of our face. And that's what Tej Hanley does for us. They got uncomplicated skincare for men. If there's one word, there it is. There it is.
I forgot it came in yesterday.
You pop that bitch on. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to moisturize while you do just that. If there was one word that I needed in my life, it's uncomplicated. If I could buy an uncomplicated, look at that, boom, easy peasy. Uncomplicated everything. I need uncomplicated fun. I need uncomplicated relationships. I need an uncomplicated job. I need uncomplicated skincare. And that's what Tej Hanley does. I just put on the morning facial moisturizer. I got to use the scrub 2 times a week in the shower. This is the key, though. The eyes, the AM, PM cream for your eyes, because your boy has those dad bags. Me and Clem need this desperately. So I'm going to pop this on right here. I might even just leave it on. Yeah, there you go. Tej Hanley is the easiest way for you to get all your skincare delivered right to your door. Because let's be honest, we don't really know what we're doing. You talk to girls, they're going to tell you about the serums and the creams and the prescriptions and all that shit. We don't know yet. We're new to this game. So why don't you let the experts take care of it for you? And that's what Tej Hanley does for you. It comes in this box with this easy to carry little tote bag, and it has everything you need all in one shot to make sure that your face isn't as ugly anymore. You can go to Tej.com. That's TIEGE.com/KFC. And you can get started for just $25, where you'll get the free tote bag with your first purchase. Free shipping. They cut out the middleman, no extra cost. And for just $25, you can get started, get your face looking right, and get the free bag for when you travel. Go to Tej.com, TIEGE.com/KFC. You look awesome.
I look really great.
Really great. I mean, this is a look, as the kids would say. LEWK. This is something. This is so annoying. You're annoying. These are the things that you do. Like, you buy a stupid hat, and it's just like, fuck. I don't know why you're pulling it off. Or you wear, like, sandals with socks and, like, a stupid shirt and dumb shorts. And it's like, why doesn't he look stupid? And right now, you transformed yourself into the evil character from Frosty the Snowman who's trying to melt Frosty, and somehow you look good. It's
Dude,
just –
this stuff is – mustache wax is the real deal. Like, it's like I'm just putting glue on my face. This is like hard. I've tried to do it with different hair waxes and things like that, and it never stays. Like, it's the different texture than the hair, really. But mustache wax, it works right away, and I kind of fucking love it.
Are you gonna keep the beard? I feel like if you had just the mustache like that, it would be.
I gotta trim the face up for sure.
Yeah, because where it's coming to a point, you need to be totally clean so that people can see those points.
Yeah.
And also, I think you have no choice but to become like an international villain. You have to be a bad guy now.
I'm not too far off from that as is. I'm like pretty close to an international villain. But I gotta go in. I gotta get more violent is what I think.
Yeah, right. I mean,
but like not violent, like smart violent, which I think is smart too.
You need to plot.
I got a lot on my plate with just facial hair. Just 2 twists of the fingers, and all of a sudden I got a lot to do now.
Yo, it's like, what happened to John? He was such a nice guy, and then like he murdered like 10 people. Well, he twisted his mustache up. He had no choice. He had to become a mass murderer. He had to become an evil man. But you really have to get smarter. If you look like that, people think that you're like a super genius villain, and you're gonna be like, well, actually, I'm kind of dumb.
Kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like a human podcast, according to Duncan Trussell, where it's like most of the time dumb, but occasionally kind of poignant.
Yeah, you know what? You are. You are. And I find you to be very inspirational, John, because in a world where people care so much and fight and scream and dig their heels in and don't admit when they're wrong and don't admit when they've changed and all that shit, you are always laid back. You're relaxed. You don't involve yourself in shit you shouldn't be involved in. And you just keep it real. Like, oh,
I don't like that about me, just to be clear. I wish I wasn't this way.
I wish I was like you.
I guess we got a real grass is greener situation, but
you're goddamn right. I feel like we always have. And then we switched lawns, and I was like, well, this lawn sucks too. I don't know what's going on. But there's so much going on in the world right now. And by the way, no guest on today's show. So you just got me and your boy for a couple hours, and we're going to get weird with it. We're going to talk some Barstool DVR. We're going to do our top fives. We're going to do our voicemails, of course. So you know how we tend to get cooking and go off the rails when there's nobody, when there's no adult in the room to stop us. That's when we really, I mean, I just can't. Look at that smile with the fucking mustache. Oh, my God.
It pops it out more.
No, if you're listening to the podcast, God bless you, but go over to the KFC Radio YouTube page. Make sure you catch some videos of Feidelberg with this mustache, because I guarantee this changes you completely. Like you could have the same exact opinions you always say. They're just going to hit different because you look like this now. The KFC Radio YouTube is up like 20% this month. Our boy Nick has been re-uploading all of our famous interviews, all of our best work, everything categorized into different playlists. So if you're a YouTube fan, or if you want to watch us a lot more, you go over to the KFC Radio YouTube. It's a very well done page. I'm very excited about growing that the same way we grew Answer the Internet. So make sure you take a look at fights. But I think today we're going to do life advice from John Feidelberg, because I do believe, John, I know what you're saying about, you're your own worst critic, but don't you agree that the world could use a little more let's sit back and not fucking engage and throw myself in the middle of everything and fight again.
Right now? No, right now, go do your thing. Like, right now, do I don't know. Maybe in less important times you can have. I think
things happening. I think that you're right. The time is to speak up, but I think we're getting a little goofy with it, and I think people are like, they don't know how to talk or bring it up or demonstrate or show. I mean, some of the videos that I saw coming out of the world this weekend, while well-intentioned, I think are getting a little bit fucking silly.
I didn't see anything this weekend because I was without electricity all weekend.
So wait, first of all, still no air conditioning, that means then, huh?
None this week. I was in Maine this weekend.
Okay.
No, the house. This house has air conditioning now.
What was going on in Maine? You just go Unabomber on us and go out into the wilderness?
It wasn't intentional. There was a bad storm, just knocked the power out Saturday morning at noonish, give or take.
Isn't that kind of the best?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was actually crazy how little it came up. I had a phone, but it was on low battery, whatever. But I didn't really have it with me that much. I didn't run out of phone battery, but the not low battery, low power mode. And so I didn't. If I run out of a phone, that I'd be singing a different tune right now. But with no electricity in the house, it was fucking awesome. We just drank and played cards by fucking firelight, and it was a fun ass weekend.
Dude, that sounds I used to love a rainstorm or a blizzard that knocked the power out. Just for
it wasn't firelight, by the way. We got a generator. I don't know why I lied about that. We got a generator from the neighbor to put on one lamp. So there was a little electricity.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to say you had a generator, put the house back on. You did not have power, John.
No, there was a lamp. There was a lamp.
Yeah, you need that's – I wish the world could lose power. I wish my life could lose power. Wouldn't that be great? And then it's not your fault. It's just hey, I can't do anything about it.
Fun for 24 hours on a weekend getaway. I might have a different opinion again. It was nice, but somehow the beer stayed cold. That was great. If the beer got warm, that might have been a different. I might have a different opinion again. But the beer stayed cold, cooked on the grill, fucking played by a lamp. It was a fun day, fun weekend. Therefore, what I'm saying is I didn't see anything that you're about to tell me.
I feel like that line, if the beer stays cold, that should be a memoir, John Henry Feidelberg, the beer stays cold. Or the opposite, things went off the rails when the beer didn't stay cold.
It got warm, man.
All right, so then this is perfect. Then I'm going to explain to you a couple situations, and I'm going to ask WW JHD. What would John Henry do? It's brought to you by Omaha Steaks. I'll tell you what all of you should do right now is go to omahasteaks.com, search KFC in the search bar, and get yourself a Father's Day package. The other day, John, at 3 p.m., I wrapped up radio. I think it was Friday. I wrapped up the day, and I was stuck in between lunch and dinner, and I just cooked 2 filet mignons. Just had like a little in-between meal snack. It was 2 goddamn filet mignons because my fucking freezer is loaded up with them because it's always Omaha season in this house. When you've got them on deck, you got them frozen, they're sealed, they're fresh. You can just pop them under the hot water, defrost them a little bit, cook them up.
Let me tell you about how easy it is with this. So I'm obviously home. So when like all of my promotional stuff is getting mailed here, and I guess this is really a story of how useless I've been my entire life. But like, so we got steaks one night. We have a big family, so this is about the Father's Day order is about a night of food. It's like the 4 steaks, the 4 burgers, the whole shebang.
Dude, the Feidelberg clan, you guys got to kill a cow every time you want to just have a dinner. Right? The whole fucking thing.
But I didn't even cook it. And like I have aunts and uncles reaching out to me about like, I heard what you did the other night. That's so nice. Like you got dinner for the family. Like I've been living here for free for like 3 months. And I was given food one night. And people were like, what a guy you are. That's how low I've set that. It's really embarrassing. No. 31 years of life. And like, it's just like the strange relatives are reaching out being like, I heard what a guy you are.
What a hero. In today's world, the hero tag gets thrown around a lot, but the dude who gets the sponsor company to send a box of meat, hero. You are that dude. But that's how good it is because anybody that I've ever got on the Omaha train, they never stop. Once you go Omaha, you don't go back because it's so easy. It's so affordable. It gets delivered to you in the styrofoam box with the dry ice. So everything is fresh, everything's cold, everything is frozen and sealed. And it's got different cuts of meat, poultry, pork. Right now, when you sign up and use KFC in the search bar, you get the Applewood smoked bacon, the thick cut steakhouse bacon. You get that for free. You got the caramel apple tartlets, the Omaha seasoning, the potatoes au gratin, au gratin.
A top 5 potato.
If you're number 2 potato. If you're bad at drafting, maybe, yeah. But when you get them for free, they're fucking delicious. So get on board with it with Omaha right now. It's a great gift for Father's Day, but it's really one of those gifts that like you say it's for your dad, but then you're the one cooking up the steak on the grill. And, you know, it's like anything else you get for your dad. You're just doing it for yourself. Go to omahasteaks.com, type in KFC in the search bar, and you can get the summer sizzle pack for $79.99, which is saving 55%. So when you go for $80, you get the 4 top sirloin steaks, you get the 4 premium chicken breasts, you get the 4 jumbo franks and kielbasa sausages, you get a pack of all beef meatballs, 4 perfectly browned potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, and the signature seasoning pack, plus the free steak cut bacon. So go to omahasteaks.com, type KFC into the search bar. All right, what would John Henry do? Let's say hypothetically, you are the mayor of a city embroiled in the middle of a racial debate. You also, for some reason, look like you're 18 years old. You do not look like a mayoral candidate at all. You're wearing an outfit that looks like it belongs on a Gap or like not even Gap, like Aeropostale style mannequin. You look just ridiculous, okay? You show up to your rally, to their rally, and you're all on the same side, but somebody grabs a mic, puts it in your face, and asks you publicly to disband and defund the police department. Now, you being the political figure trying to help people, but not do anything rash in the moment, you do not agree to this. You say, listen, we gotta take a lot of steps, but we can't get rid of the police. They start to boo you and give you a real life Cersei walk of shame. They are literally yelling, shame, shame. Like aside from a ringing bell, that's all that was missing from them completely recreating the Game of Thrones scene. So now you are standing there surrounded by these people, but you're the mayor of this city and they boo you to death. And they're literally screaming, go home, John, go home. What does John Henry do?
Well, first of all, I'd never find myself in that situation because the moment someone asked me a question and put the microphone in my face, I just do what you wanted me to say. Like I would just.
Well, okay. So so in that moment, you would have agreed to disbanding the police?
To defund the police, without a doubt.
No, I think these guys were literally asking to disband.
Done. Whatever, man. Like if like I don't care. Are you kidding me? There's a large group of people who are asking me a question, and they want a very specific answer, and they're putting a microphone in my face. You get that answer. I don't have in that moment. I don't have principles or logic or reason or anything. I have self-serving survival tactic, and guess what? You get what you. I'm Oprah. You get what you want. You get what you want. And you get what you want. It doesn't. Are you kidding me? That always like blows my mind when people are like referees, like they're objective. They're not swayed by home court advantage and stuff like that. Yeah, they are. There are 18,000 drunk maniacs screaming at them for a call. You're gonna get that call. That's if I was a referee, an umpire. If I'm calling a game, the home team's never getting a penalty. Like I just don't want to get yelled at by that many people right now. It's just not happening. Like if I'm an NHL referee, every game at TD Bank North Garden is like third or overtime in a playoff game. Like you just put the whistles away.
Put the whistle in your pocket.
Whatever happens. Like, no doubt. And then guess what? If I somehow just misspoke and gave them the wrong answer and they said to leave, I leave. That's what happens. Like I don't know. What do you want me to do? All right, I'll see you guys later.
I feel like I would have, in the moment, I think I would have spoken up and been like, come on, like we can't do that. There's a different answer. And the minute they started booing and like really like giving me the shit, I would have grabbed the mic and been like, all right, I was kidding. We can do it. We'll do it anyway. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Parks and Rec when she marries the two gay penguins in the beginning of the second season, and she's trying to be impartial. But then she goes to the gay bar and they're dancing for her and they're like having a party for her. And she's like, okay, let's do it. It's that, but the opposite. I'm going to try to be down the middle. And the minute you start throwing like tomatoes at me and hissing at me, I'll be like, I was just kidding. Let's kill the police.
They both work for me. Either one works for me. Either condemnation or celebration. I'm in on either one. It will get me to say, it's like, I'm a flip-flopper. Whatever like you yell at me most about, I will change. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
I don't dig in I can't think of anything I would dig in my heels with. Because guess what? You're gonna end up being wrong. You just are. That's I've alluded to this in a podcast before where I was like, I follow enough people on Instagram who are vegans who I was like, I know I'm gonna become a vegan one day. And it's like we're all gonna become vegans one day. If you don't believe that, you're wrong. It's going to happen. You're going to get yelled at enough. And then like you'll look back and be like, man, I can't believe I cared about cheeseburgers that much.
When do you think you'll become a vegan? Give me an age.
Probably when I follow 3 more vegans on Instagram.
That's it. It's not even an age. It's like a tipping point. Once my Instagram becomes 27% vegan, that's it. I can't take it.
And it's not even right. They're not even there. It's not. There's not a lot of yelling that sways me. It's the cooking. And I'm like, well, that looks pretty good.
You know what sways me?
I survive on that.
Like I read an article. I'm pretty sure the guy who wrote it was like a scientist, but he was like a vegan, so he's obviously swayed. But he was talking about how fucking disgusting chickens are and how there's bird flus and bird diseases. And he's like, if we don't stop eating chicken, like we're all gonna die. Like look at these things. And like you look at birds and their feathers and their diseases, and it's like, why is this like the #1 food in the fucking world? These things are fucking gross.
Yeah, it's what we were doing. The other you know what? So yesterday I was coming home and there was a ton of traffic. So I got stuck. I was at 44, and it wasn't traffic. It was late at night. The road was shut down because of construction, and I had to go back roads. And I was just following this car that was covered in bumper stickers, all kinds of like hippie bumper stickers, and I was reading them all, and I was like, they were right. Like everything they said, like it's like we're 60 years late, but like they kind of nailed everything. Yeah. So I don't want to go back in 60 years and be like, boy, I was really dead set on keeping that cheeseburger. I look like an idiot now. But whatever, fine. You're going to end up being right.
Yeah, I understand the problem and the bad side of flip-flopping. You don't want to just be like able to be bought off or easily persuaded. But I also think like the other word for flip-flopping is like growth or change or education or like
I have call me John Kerry. Flippity floppity. I'm so it's like it's just it is. I think it's part with a politician it might be different, but like I'm just learning new things.
Yeah, dude.
I always think that too when people say like Howard Stern got soft or whatever, and maybe he did, but also like maybe he just met people with different perspectives. And was like, oh yeah, that's probably pretty right.
Dude, 100%. I mean, Howard Stern he got the bag, and he's definitely like, I don't think I need to like fuck porn stars with objects in my studio anymore. Whatever.
Also, sometimes you just don't want to do that anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was just like, I looked at a stripper's asshole like 6 days a week for 20 years. I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, you can find tweets of mine right now talking about past protests, Ferguson and whatnot, where I was on the complete opposite side because I was mad about traffic and I was mad about being inconvenienced at Grand Central and all this dumb shit when I was like a 20-something who had no understanding of the world. And people were like, well, what happened now? It's like, well, I grew up. I got educated. I went through my own like hardships that maybe have empathy for others. And like the world changed a little bit. So yeah, like I have no problem telling you that the last time this happened, I was one of those dumb, ignorant white people. And this time around, I kind of get it. You want to call that flip-flopping? Fine. I call that like growing up.
I'm going to throw a real big curveball at you here because I was not talking about that stuff. I was talking about I'm going to get an OnlyFans account because it's fun.
Wait, you're gonna buy one or you're gonna?
Nope, I'm gonna have one.
You're gonna. John Henry.
Everyone's gonna have one. It's coming. It's coming down the line. The OnlyFans people are gonna be the ones who were right. You might as well start caking it now.
Yo, we
before
saw
the market's oversaturated.
We saw it with TikTok. We saw it with every social media app. That's all that OnlyFans is, except it's a way to make that fucking paper.
We've joked about it before with like Logan Paul, I think, but like it's officially time for me to start selling pictures for $2 a month. Because guess what? It's gonna happen. You're gonna have an OnlyFans.
Are you talking about like dick pics? Or are you gonna be like a regular account?
People just have regular accounts on there. It's just Instagram. I don't ever use Instagram. Guess what? Now I do, and you pay me for it.
Yeah, that's really all it is. It's like if you were to pay me $2 to subscribe to my Instagram, I'd probably be fucking more active on that shit, no doubt.
Right.
So what's your first like upload gonna be? Like
I don't know. I'm not gonna really do it.
No, you know what I think we should? I really think we should, as an experiment, we'll start it. We'll ask listeners to sign up. And if there's a decent amount of them that pay, we just have to become OnlyFans models.
I feel like also it's a slippery slope where people start just being like, guess what? If you up to $10 a month, maybe increase the visibility of that content. I'd be like, well, 10. I start doing some math. Like,
yo, this shit adds up.
It's like you're a waitress at a strip club because this is a job, and then you start finding out what other people are making, showing.
It's like if I can stand here and make a half my money, or just stand up on that stage and make twice as much.
Right. Well, I guess I might as well then.
What if you told people that you will finally commit to bringing back Barstool Confessions, but it's only on OnlyFans?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the people want that. The people want that, and you
people want that. No one wants that because guess what? Whenever I do it, I still get tweets being like, I did it like what 3 weeks in a row, and people are like, where's Barstool Confessions coming back? Like, you don't actually care. You just want to yell at me because guess what? It's been back for 3 weeks.
Ready? Okay. How about this? Pay me $2 a month on OnlyFans, and you can berate me.
I don't know if I like that.
No, we get berated for free. We might as well get paid to get berated.
I don't get berated.
I get berated. Fuck you. I'm gonna do this thing.
I mean, I'm sure I do. I just don't see it. I'm sure I get berated.
I'm gonna go on OnlyFans.
I don't want to have to read it.
I'm gonna go on OnlyFans, and it's like my OnlyFans account. You can just make fun of me for my divorce, and I sit there and I read your comments out loud as the video, so you know you're getting to me. But you got to pay me like $5 or $10 a month. Fuck that $2 shit.
That's a pretty good deal,
right? And then not only do I get some cash, but I've also identified like the sickest motherfuckers in my fan base. Like, you guys are the worst. And now I know you're over there, but I'm getting paid for it. Oh, it's like roast me on Reddit. Like OnlyFans, roast KFC. I think I could get it. I don't know about you. I could get paid if that's where I could centralize my hate.
You could get a lot of money for that.
Yeah, a lot. For sure. OnlyFans is it really is. It's like more of a taboo subject, but I think it is just the next app. It's like It went from Twitter to Snapchat to Instagram to TikTok, and now OnlyFans has this like sex angle. But the same thing, like Musical.ly used to be like strictly like music videos, and now TikTok just became whatever you wanted. Like the first people to hop on OnlyFans, Asa told me it wasn't even sex to begin with. It was just that porn stars kind of hijacked it. But it was just like here's a platform for your fans, like your most diehard fans, for whatever it is you put out there. And then Asa was like, well, I'm going to like fuck myself in the ass with this thing. And then, woo, like history changed forever. I don't think that girl realizes how much she changed history with that. But we could take it back. We could take back that app.
It's a way for people to get paid for their content.
Why don't you play your ukulele and read Spanish books on there?
Do you only like live? No, you just post pictures, right? I don't have the live stream.
You can post pictures, you can post videos. I don't know if you can do live, but you can do pictures and videos.
All right, I'm gonna look into this. There's a pretty good chance, but also like I'm just gonna feel really bad about myself if people don't sign up for it.
Well, I mean, you already feel bad about yourself, right? Might as well take a shot. How much worse can it get? There's this chick in Australia, Renee what? She's on Twitter at Renee Racer. Her name is Renee Gracie. I don't know. 22 years old. She was a Australian like NASCAR driver, whatever their version is over in Australia. And she said, fuck it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start an OnlyFans. She makes $1 million now. It's like, I can race like extremely dangerous cars and put myself, like my life on the line, put myself in danger every time. Or as she said, she's like, I just take a picture of my bum, I upload it, and I make money. Can't knock that hustle, man. Can't knock the hustle.
And guess what? We're all doing it for free. We're all posting pictures on Instagram for free, lying in Zuckerberg's pockets.
Line your own.
Yeah.
Line your own. And I'll be honest, I don't want to profile here because it's 2020. But you take one look at this girl, and she's got like a body with crazy tattoos. Like you would like this girl. And it's like, yeah, you're probably, it's like being like it's like Aaron Judge playing baseball. It's like you're in the wrong sport, dude. You're doing the wrong thing. Like you should be in football if you're that size. This girl should just be on OnlyFans. She does not. This is more what you were born to do, and she makes $1 million fucking doing it.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. Like you look at me, and you don't say you were born to be on OnlyFans.
Yet you're gonna change the perception, dude. She has 7,000 subscribers. She makes $90,000 a month, John.
Just 7,000 subscribers?
7,000.
How much is her page?
It does not say. Let me see if I can find her page. Because you know what the thing is? I think you can do subscription, but then you can also just like do a la carte, like pay $20 for this.
Man, yeah, I've seen some stuff on OnlyFans where it's like, for the rest of this video, DM me, and that's what you get. But guess what? The 7-minute video is enough for me. But I will not be giving 7 minutes for free because I can't do that.
Dude, she finished. Her best finish was 18th place in 48 races. So like she was like Happy Gilmore. She like never really won any money, and now she makes $90,000 a month. I would say you probably made the right career choice, Renee. Well done. And guess who's coming? We're right on your heels, girl. The KFC Radio boys are going to snag some of those 7,000 subscribers with hate watches and ukulele videos. Let's go.
I had another idea today aside from creating an OnlyFans. And also, we've made this joke 100 times, like OnlyFans, like let's get an OnlyFans. You make a joke enough, eventually you're just going to do it. We should just do it.
Right.
But the other thing was, so on part of my take, they did the Mount Flushmore things that Mount Flushmore things from vacation, like the 4 worst things. And I think the worst is coming home on a Sunday and like you just got to be back in the office Monday. Like you're hungover, you got to be in the office the next day. And I think I've hinted this before, but maybe not. I genuinely want this to be my lasting legacy in life. I want to be the guy who completely revamped vacations. Okay? You take a vacation from Thursday to Thursday. Because now you get there Thursday, or you get there Friday or Thursday night, right? And then you have a regular full weekend. Okay, you're not traveling. Usually like you fly out on a Saturday morning, you fly back on a Saturday morning or something like that. You get an actual full weekend, which is like, if you're going to a resort, I guess it doesn't matter. But if you're going to a city, like it does change on the weekend versus a week. Like, so you get an actual weekend there. And then you're home on Thursday night, maybe Friday morning. And then you have an actual weekend to relax and get reacclimated and be like, okay, I had a regular weekend. Now it's back to work. So the vacation is partly work.
Oh, like, absolutely. I mean, that the joke about like I need a vacation for my vacation is the realest shit ever. I whenever I'm away, I'm like, it's like this Seinfeld's latest bit. Like, I got to get to my vacation. I got to get there. Let's get the plane. Let's get there. And then you get there. You're like, I got to get home. I got to get back home. That's life.
You got to get to dinner. You got to get to museums. You got to see this thing. You got to see that thing. You got to go out on the boat. You got to do a lot of things while you're there. And it's nice to just have a weekend to chill after that.
So it's all really about having enough self-control. Like a lot of people would say, why not just stay through the weekend in this city that you're loving? But it's because you're going to regret it when you get home on Sunday.
You're 100%. You need that, like, it's like coming up for air as a scuba diver, right? Where you gotta, what's it called?
The bends. You don't want to get the bends.
Right. So you gotta like come up and get reacclimated there, and come up a little bit, and get reacclimated there. Come home, get reacclimated to the couch before we have to get reacclimated to the office.
Brilliant.
I mean, I think that's I want that. Like, vacations forever have changed.
I think what's important is that you're giving yourself a whole weekend, because when people say, like, people will be like, just take Monday off of your vacation. It's like, but then you stay through Sunday, and you basically always have a Sunday to Monday, whether it might be Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday. But if you stop on a Thursday and you give yourself several days to, because you wouldn't just be thinking like, let me squeeze one more day out. It would be squeezing a whole new weekend out, and you're not going to do that.
You could probably go Friday to Friday too, if we're being honest. But like, I think just as important as the reacclimation weekend is having an actual weekend there. I think no one gets actual weekends on vacations. Like you don't get to see, I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to go to a club or whatever, but like that changes if you're there on a Tuesday versus on a Saturday night.
Right.
You see a completely different part of the city. I want to see the city on a weekend.
So maybe this is the platform you should run on. Vacation reform.
Paul Papps told me he'd vote for me for any platform the idea leads me to.
I'll tell you what, you stand up there in front of that same crowd. Like, John, are you willing to disband police? And first of all, you twist up your mustache a little bit, and then you say, no, but forget about that. Let me tell you about Thursday to Thursday vacations. And I think that people would be like, I'm listening.
Well, yeah, we're on to something here. He's got ideas, that's for sure.
And then when they're like, John, where can we find more? You'd be like, OnlyFans.com/vacationjohn, $7 a month. I'll teach you the way. This is your second act. This is your second act of life. You're about to fucking kill it, babe. You got a look, you got a platform, you've got a message.
Yeah, we've really just completely revamped John Feidelberg in this half hour or whatever it's been.
Holy shit. Are you excited?
No.
Yeah. Still on brand. Still always on brand. Let's do our top fives. We'll get into top fives. We'll do a little Barstool DVR talk. Let me hit you with another WWJHD, okay? Let's say you're a member of Congress and you're a white person. And they say, you know what we're going to do today? We're all going to take a knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, while wearing an African dashiki over your shoulders. What would John Feidelberg do?
This is hard because guess what? Me and kneeling don't get along well.
I was thinking that. I think it's ridiculous to put on an African dashiki scarf over your shoulders.
That's obviously preposterous.
I mean, like that's like on the road to blackface. If it was like, hey, let's honor the black people by dressing like them, why don't we just paint our faces too? It's crazy. About
like if that's what you dress like it. But
they don't. Nancy Pelosi doesn't usually wear African colors.
It's very pandering and like, this looks preposterous, dude.
Okay. But as correct as you are about that was my thought. All these old people, they took a knee for 9 straight minutes.
Dude, I was
out of gas.
Back when I was a kid and still went to church and shit, like I was the kid who, once I got my communion, I was kneeling, but I was sitting back on that bench.
Absolutely.
My knees were so
my ass on the pew. My knees were barely touching that pad. I was just sitting down on the edge of my seat while all these other fucking Christian dorks had their back all straight like a fucking pole down the side.
Dude, I kneeled for the first time probably since I was a kid the other day when I went to that funeral. And I was like, this is insane. How I ended up just sitting. I was like, this is crazy. I can't keep doing
The
this.
kneeling. How about girls who give head that way? Could you imagine having to suck someone's dick while you're on your knees? That's a fucking fiasco, man.
It's so incredibly painful. It's like just knees are not something you were meant to be on. This is obviously we're talking about something different here now. But now we're just talking about basic anatomy. And the fact that you kneel is so crazy. Like, what, can I just lay on my stomach? What about that? like the prone position is a far more comfortable one. Why do I have to be on my knees right now? It hurts so bad.
Let me hit you with one more then. Let's say you show up at a protest or demonstration, and all the white people are like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna wash the black people's feet right now, just like Jesus. What are you doing?
I mean, depends. Do they want me to do it, or am I forcing myself upon them? Like,
I can't imagine.
Sit down on washing your feet. Again, if it's a lot of people want me to do something, I'm just gonna do it. But it doesn't. If I'm not gonna make them let me wash their feet.
That one felt. Those two, the African daisikis and the washing of the feet. I was like,
I'll tell you what. I haven't washed my own feet in about 20 years. So don't
trickle down showers. You don't need to. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know. I barely scrub my own toes. I'm supposed to do it to a stranger now.
Just drop the act. I barely. Shut up. You don't at all.
I don't. Yeah.
I went down to put on suntan lotion on my feet this weekend. It's probably the first time I touched my foot in 12 years. like I don't know. I don't dry my feet. I don't wash my feet. I guess. I'll say at least 3 months because I haven't really put on shoes in 3 months. But I guess I do when I put my shoes on and socks on. But like, as far as cleanliness or just straight up taking care of my feet goes, I've never touched it.
Do you clip your toenails?
Yeah, once every other. It's actually weird. That's an impressive part of the human body. How it's just like every other time you cut your fingernails, you got to cut your toenails. Why do they grow so much slower? I don't know. It's just how it works. You cut your fingernails like once a week. Cut your toenails every other week. For some reason, that's just how I grow.
The most impressive thing to me are eyebrows and eyelashes. They just know to stop growing.
Yeah. Not true. I literally learned that this weekend. It's crazy that you brought it up.
What?
Eyebrows just fall out. They don't. You don't have the same eyebrows you had. Like, I don't know how often it happens, but they didn't just like stop growing. That
makes more sense. That makes more sense. Still though, impressive that they know to do that. You know, like hair on your head is like hold on as long as you can. Hair like 2-3 inches down your forehead, let that shit go. No big deal.
Yeah. Eyelashes are very suicidal. Like, we're gonna jump.
Your eyebrows are looking like you have them today. Sometimes you look like you don't have them.
I got some color this weekend, I think, so you can see my white eyebrows.
That'll do it. All right, so we know WWJHD, and the answer is basically just get your OnlyFans and get that money up, baby. Let's do some top fives. Top fives today are brought to you by Miller Lite, one of the most I keep talking about why Miller Lite's great, and I'm always like, you get together with friends and you share some stories and you share some laughs. But really, when you think about what guys are doing the most, and everybody, not just guys, we're arguing, we're debating, we're making up our lists, we're arguing who's the GOAT, who's the best, who's the worst, who's the sexiest, who's the funniest, whatever. I mean, my entire life is really just one gigantic top five argument where I'm just like, I like this. No, fuck you for not liking this. Fuck you, you're wrong. And what better time to do that than kicking back, opening up a Miller Lite, and sharing a beer, whether you're lucky enough to be out there in the opened up world, having a beer at the bar, whether you're still at home drinking on Zoom, and especially right now when it comes to no current sports, it's MJ and LeBron and Brady versus this and who's the best at that. It's all just one gigantic top five. And so whether you're debating, arguing, discussing, laughing, sharing stories and your opinions, there's no better way to do it than over a Miller Lite. It's brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories per 12 ounces, only 3.2 carbs. And you serve an ice cold Miller Lite, and you can never go wrong. Even if your top five is terrible, you can never go wrong.
50,000 this weekend.
So get it delivered to your door today. Get it picked up from your favorite bar or restaurant. And while you're home, enjoy a classic with Miller Lite. Today's top five. Top five words that you use that make you feel smart, that at least you think makes you feel smart? Because I have the feeling that a lot of these words are really not that smart, but you look awesome. What about what's going on where your Hitler mustache would be? Does that not grow there, or do you cut that, or you pull it apart?
So not anti-Semitic, it's just not there.
Yeah, you're the anti-Hitler. Couldn't even grow a Hitler if I wanted to. All right, top 5. These are just like basically, I don't know about you, but I have these things in my head that like I remember them from SAT, like studying that like certain words.
See, mine are very, very liquid. They're constantly changing because I'll hear one. Yeah, that's a good one, and I'll use it for a few weeks. And I'll just forget about it.
What's the flavor of the week right now?
This one doesn't really apt. I've said apt a million times.
Apt, simple, short. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be a hard word to spell. You're not going to win the spelling bee for apt, but you're going to win points sounding smart when you say apt.
I guess I'll use that as my number one. It probably wasn't going to be my number one, but I will use apt as my number one because it is definitely my most used right now.
What does it really mean? It's like prone, right? Like you're apt to do something. You're prone to do it. Fancy.
Yeah. I also wouldn't have been able to define it. I'd have been like, you're just apt to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these words.
I said to Jared the other day, I was like, yeah, that's an apt comparison. Yeah, it's always an apt comparison.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's true. It's usually like there's a lot of words that you know that are just forever connected with a second term. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go this one. So mine are kind of the opposite of you. These are classics. These are ones that I have either been trying.
I was gonna say appropriate, but you said prone first. It's appropriate. I was right.
Wait, are you saying appropriate is a hard word?
No, apt is what it means.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was going to use appropriate as my word. I was like, dude,
no. I was going to say define it, but you beat me to it, so then you shamed me out of saying my answer. The definition 1 is appropriate or suitable for the circumstances.
That's pretty funny that someone was like, I'm sick of saying appropriate, so I'll just like cut the words out, put the T on there. It's now apt.
Yeah, how often does an abbreviation sound like the smarter one?
Hey, appropriate, easy peasy, bro. This word right here, I've been using since I was probably like 17, studying for this shit. Juxtaposed.
No, it's gonna be my one. That would have been my number one had I not said apt.
I think that I would be willing to bet that a lot of people's number one would be juxtaposed.
Yeah,
because it's just, it's the simplest. If you're comparing two things, you can juxtapose them. So you don't have to really be smart. You just have this one word in your holster. It's got an X in it. If you got an X in your word, that's pretty fucking legit. And it's kind of fun to say. Juxtapose. Let's go.
If it would be a good Scrabble word, it's a great fake smart word.
You would get so many points if you were to juxtapose on like a triple word score with a triple letter on the X. Woo, baby.
Okay. I got a list of things here. I'm trying to decide what order I'm going to go with. Juxtapose off the board. I'll go with a similar word, dichotomy.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one. That, again, so useful, and you don't even have to be talking about like hard, like a serious topic. There's a dichotomy with like your food you're eating, your sports you're watching. There's always dichotomies everywhere you look.
Dichotomy is a nice one. I don't know why. I don't know, but dichotomy is one that's definitely stuck with me. It almost sounds like Old English. Like I can see it written in that like Old English font. I don't know why. Just like a big picture in my head.
A big like cartoon D when you start off the page with it. I like that. My second word here, I think I've been using it incorrectly my whole life. No, I have been, but it doesn't make sense. Okay. Inexorable.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if things are inexorably connected, like you could, well, not anymore, but I was gonna say like Brady and Belichick are like inexorably connected, or like peanut butter and jelly inexorably connected. But the definition of inexorable.
This game, it's like the words you use to sound smart. It could also be called top 5 words you use wrong.
Yes, that's what I'm learning. Inexorable means impossible to stop or prevent. So I guess when something's inexorably connected, it means it's impossible to separate them. So I've been using it right, but just not quite really. But see, that's one. if I say that, you know I'm in over my head. Like juxtapose, we all kind of know. Dichotomy, you know. If I try to drop an inexorably, it's like, come on, dude, you're doing too much.
Yeah, that's I have some of those on my list where it's like when I say that, even I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, and it's like I hope no one else calls me out on this because I'm pretty sure I was using this wrong, but okay.
Yeah, this is definitely top 5 words used to sound smart / top 5 words you misuse.
Right, top 5 words that actual smart people think you're dumb because you tried to use it incorrectly.
My number 3 actually isn't. My number 3 is, again, I think this one, it's not a hard word, although I used it once. Okay, so it's aforementioned. But I remember, like, I almost can, like, pinpoint the day and the time when I was like, fuck college, this is stupid, and, like, stopped caring. And I was in a creative writing class at Florida State, and the entire class and the teacher agreed that I shouldn't have made up words in my story because I said aforementioned. And I was like, fuck all of you, fuck this is all bullshit, I'm out.
They said that wasn't a word?
No.
Like when people say like irregardless, they meant like it's just not used correctly, or they're saying you made up the term?
Make up words. And I was like, and I'm so easily swayed because a group of people were trying to tell me one thing where I was just like, oh, my bad. And I got home and I looked it up, and guess what? I was right that it's a word. And
yeah.
The teacher was like, yeah, we should try and steer clear of that. Like we understand what you're trying to say, but I was like, well,
no,
fuck. I'm trying to say because I said a word.
I think that maybe I pronounce it differently or wrong. I think I would say you gotta hit the af.
Yeah,
aforementioned.
Yeah,
I would say the aforementioned, and that's out.
No. Aforementioned.
Aforementioned. And it's so like, you know, you could just say like, you know, the thing I was talking about before. The aforementioned is
right. It sounds lawyery.
Yeah, big time. This is all bird talk. This is all bird law.
Yeah,
bird law. Aforementioned, henceforth, hitherto, all that shit. They're all like little connecting pieces that keep your sentence going. You know what I mean? Aforementioned, great one. I'm gonna go. This is such a stupid one. I can't believe they made a word this fucking difficult for just big fire. But conflagration.
Yeah. You use conflagration?
I will use. I write it. I won't say it because I actually, as I was about to speak it, I was like, conflagration. I don't know how to say it. I'll sneak that into a blog like twice a year. Anytime we're talking about big fire, I'll also use it in a way like if I'm saying like a song is fire, I'll slide that in there. And I don't think that's correct at all. But what is
you would say you'll describe a musical song as conflagration?
Yeah, like when I'm like running out of other ways to say fire, it's flames. Like when we were doing the Millmore, like Mount Vesuvius lava flames.
Yeah.
I'll throw in a conflagration. It's an extensive fire which destroys a great deal of property. I don't know why we can't just say like forest fire or wildfire, but conflagration, John. Learn it, know it. Anytime you say it, super smart.
All right. I'm gonna go subterfuge.
Oh,
because subterfuge makes like trickery sound like someone with his mustache.
Yeah.
Like that's how deceitful I am.
You're a spy. You're like James Bond type shit if you're doing subterfuge.
Yeah. That's what I do with this stash.
And you know what I think goes hand in hand with subterfuge? Obfuscate.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
You know, like I learned?
I was like obfuscating the evidence of me committing subterfuge or some shit.
Dude, yeah, it's always so weird too where you like learn. Like I remember where I was when I went, oof, good word. I was watching the show Dirty Sexy Money. You know that show?
I know the name, but I don't think I said it.
It was the dad from Parenthood is like a powerful lawyer. It's got Donald Sutherland, I believe.
Right.
It's like it's basically like it's almost like Arrested Development, but it's not funny. It's more of like a drama, and it's not like overly serious. But there's Donald Sutherland. I forget, but one like the dumb ditzy daughter was like she came out and yelled about subterfuge, And like I wrote that down. I was probably, let's see when the show was on the air, from 07 to 09. And at some point in 2008, I was like, I like that word.
That's mine. Me and the ditzy daughter. We're gonna say that shit. Let me go. This is my fourth pick. I'm going to hit you with you're going to get a 2-for-1 right here because I absolutely don't know which is which, and I use them wrong all the time.
Oh, I think the daughter was Natalie Zay, too, who I love.
Who's that?
She's Natalie Z or Natalie Zay. I don't know how you pronounce her name.
Oh, I'm looking at
she
right
was.
now. Yep. Yeah, is she in Californication? I feel like she's like a hot girlfriend somewhere.
She's Justified. She's
Justified.
She's
you know who too? The Following.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I know her from.
She's a weapon. I love her.
Yeah, she's sexy.
I back when we used to do like wake ups, I made Natalie Zay the wake up probably like 100 times. Like it would just be like, usually you kind of make the folder and then you delete all the pictures off your computer. I just had the Natalie Zay folder ready to go. Like today's a Natalie Zay day.
Load it up. God, the good old days of wake ups when life was simple. Just find a girl and upload 350 pictures of her. I remember the first time I did a wake up, it was like 25 pictures long. I was like, wake up with Megan Fox. It was like 25 pictures of her. And Dave was like, the fuck is this? I was like, it's Megan Fox. He's like, yeah, you're like 275 pictures light. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, Uncle Buck uploads like every single picture of them on the internet. I was like,
yeah, we got away from that pretty quick. I was like, it was always funny what things you were passionate about. Like you could tell what things you liked about Barstool before you got here, and because that's what you worked harder on. But
right.
like I'd never opened a wake up gallery or a smoke show gallery, so like I just didn't really.
And I certainly wouldn't click through like 278, 279, 301, 315. I mean, that's fucking lunacy. All right, so this is my 2-for-1 because I definitely don't know which is which, and I use them incorrectly all the time. Gesticulate and gregarious.
Gregarious is a good one.
They're interchangeable in my mind. I think gesticulate's moving your hands around. Gregarious is being like talkative.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're similar words, but like gregarious, yeah, it's like outgoing and things.
They're not. They both just start with G. But in my head,
okay.
Like I learned them at the same time, and it was gregarious, gesticulate, just regular gesticulate, and I just like, I guarantee you, if you search any of my tweets or blogs for that word, you'll find me using them incorrectly all the fucking time. But when I do nail it, sounds smart.
Last one, diatribe.
Oh, what's that, like you go off on like a rant almost? You're on a diatribe?
Like because it's very like insulting, and it's like what are we on this fucking diatribe now for?
Yeah.
And it's one I like to use in arguments. Like, cause
you know what I think I'm gonna do from now on? When I make videos and people are like, oh, is that your rant? No. It's my diatribe.
My diatribe. Yeah.
I always felt that rant was kind of like sometimes I was ranting, but sometimes I was just like talking for a minute about a topic. I'm not always ranting. The daily diatribe.
Oh. That's like, yeah, dude, we were talking about this. You went off on this fucking diatribe. Yeah.
Goddamn right I did. Oh, that is a fucking great word. I'm gonna have to steal that one right from you. All right, my last one. I'm stuck between two. I'm gonna go with the harder of the two here. Fastidious. You know what that one is?
No. I'm gonna try and pretend.
Thought about it for a second. You're like, no. When you're like super focused and like detail oriented, and you're paying attention like every detail.
Yeah, I definitely don't know that one, Kevin.
Yeah. So like when you're committing subterfuge, you got to be very fastidious with your plan.
I can't go off on a diatribe.
I go off on a diatribe.
I don't know why I keep saying it as go off on a diatribe. It's just like a verbal attack, but for some reason I keep putting off with it.
Gotta go off. So that's it. We're smart people. If you use those words, you're smart. If you don't know those words, you're dumb. And I'm sure the beauty of this is there's so many words, John. There's so many words. Just like way too many words.
Yeah. I was going to use harbinger. Harbinger is a good one too. But that's like almost like a harbinger of death. That's like the only way you'd use it.
Right. I was going to say it's the only way. And I also think I would definitely have said harbinger. Is it harbinger? I don't know.
I think it's yeah.
I would have said Harbinger. So you save me some embarrassment there.
Well, I don't know for sure. So these are all like the words that you second guess a lot. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Those are the words you say with one eye.
Definitely Harbinger.
One eye.
Harbinger.
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 There it is. Harbinger of death. Can you imagine making these words up? Can you imagine being like Shakespeare and just being like, I'm going to make up like a few hundred words and everybody
made up aforementioned.
If I were you, I'd like track down that professor and be like, just wanted to let you fucking know that the aforementioned class I was in, you were fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Be more fastidious, you dumb bitch. I'm going to go off on a diatribe now. All right. So the point is everyone's got their own words. So tweet at us at KFC Radio. Let us know your favorite words that you think make you sound smart. We're going to do our voicemails. But first, I want to do a little Barstool DVR. We've all been watching a lot of TV in quarantine. Haven't talked about it much, so it's time to do a little roundup of something that we've all been watching. It's brought to you by Burrow. Barstool DVR brought to you by Burrow. It couldn't be a better fit. When you're sitting on your couch, you're binging, you're watching on Netflix, you're watching on Amazon, you're watching on HBO, Go Max Plus on, or whatever the fuck it's called now. There's about 60,000 streaming platforms and about 1 million shows for you to watch. You got documentaries, you got comedies, you got short, you got long, there's so much to watch in this world right now. I was thinking about back in the day when it used to just be like, all right, it's like Tuesday night, I'm going to put on CBS or NBC or ABC, and like that's the only options. Now when you're sitting on your Burrow couch, the world is at your fingertips. And that's why you got to make sure you have a Burrow, because you're going to be spending a lot of time on the couch these days watching these shows. And a Burrow is the most comfortable way to do it. It's not just couches. They've got sofas, they've got chairs, they've got love seats, they've got ottomans. They now have rugs and shelves. They have everything you need to transform your entire apartment with the new wall shelves where you can place knickknacks and art and all that shit on the walls. They've got the sleep kit that will help transform your bed into your couch into a comfy bed. They got love seats, armchairs, coffee tables. Legit, if you're moving into a new place, you can get everything you need from Burrow. Right now, you can go to burrow.com/KFC and you'll get $75 off your purchase. You always get fast and free shipping plus 0 interest financing if you don't want to pay it all up front in one shot. But right now with the URL burrow.com/KFC, you get that $75 off on top of all that. So see site for details at burrow.com/KFC for $75 off. F is for Families coming out. We just watched King of Staten Island, which will be on demand, so you can watch that at home. But I think both of us have been going old school with it and watching some old classics, which I always find that hard to do. It's the reason why I never really did The Wire and Sopranos, because there's just so much new shit that there's so much more discussion and conversation around it that I find it hard to just go back and watch something like you're basically watching it all alone. But I went back and I started Lost. Which, did you ever watch Lost?
I did. I did. It was actually probably my first show.
Yeah.
Like my first. It was like when we were in college before teacher fucked me up. We would do like Thursday nights at my buddy's apartment in FSU.
Yeah.
Where probably 10 people.
Right. That was probably the first show that I think it was the first show I really cared about. I think it was the first show kind of ruined by the internet and ruined by theories and fan fiction and all that shit, because it was the first time.
Mostly a writer's strike. But
Yeah, and in alternate universe, this writer's strike never happened. See,
I've fallen in love with shows before that, but never like a recurring weekly thing. Like I binged Friday Night Lights before that, or maybe around the same time. I forget exactly what dates. I think Californication. I watched at that point, but like again, I watched it on like mega upload rather than watching it week to week. I did Scrubs. I was like, I liked TV, but I think that was my first okay, we're gonna discuss it and that kind of stuff.
There's also a big difference in that, like Friday Night Lights, sure, when you're watching comedies and even Californication is kind of just like you're watching this guy like stumble through life. This was like a mystery and what's gonna happen with big reveals and twists, and it was like I think the first for us, or at least the biggest at that time. that really like, I mean, it had me fucking captivated. It was like, there was a period of time, like all I thought about and all I talked about was Lost and The Island and Locke and Jack. I mean, it was like, it consumed me, which is why it was awesome and why it was also so disappointing in the end. But I wanted to go back to see if
sorry, what were you saying?
I just want to see, like, some people have told me I never rewatched it. I watched it one time only. I never went back, which usually for a show that I love that much, I would have watched by now. But I was so turned off by the ending. But I've heard from people like it's not as bad as you remember, and you were so passionate in the moment that you were mad. But if you go back and watch it with, like, you know, some time gone by, that it's not as bad as you think. I don't know. I remember it being pretty like, this is fucking stupid regardless. But I'll give it a shot.
I did. That was one show where, like, I happened to be at my buddy's on a Thursday night, and people came over to watch it, and I was like, what the hell is this? And they were in like season 2 or 3 or whatever it was. So like I went home, and almost like when Michael Scott first discovered YouTube, he's like, I didn't work for a week. It's like, I didn't go to class or do homework for like a week or two, however long it took me to catch up to like wherever they were, whatever season they were on, just like laid in bed. I think, and it's impossible to ever check me on this, so you can't tell me I'm wrong, but I believe that there was a day where I watched 20 episodes. I forget what the exact number was, but there was a day where I watched an insane number of episodes.
Dude, that is a factoid about you. That should be like in your Twitter bio. Like in one day I watched 20 episodes of Lost. If I was meeting people at cocktail hours, if I was at college doing 2 truths and a lie, one of those things would be like, I once watched 20 episodes of Lost in a day.
Dude, I did it actually last time when I like having a little I like competition in my laziness. Like when I was sick, remember I got sick like right before coronavirus hit. I ended up having strep. Or no, I didn't have strep, but I went to like the city clinic and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I failed. But I tried to watch all 7 Harry Potters in a day, and like I came so close. I did like 6.5. I came so close. I like the first thing I did when I woke up was watch the rest of what I missed. But like I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like sick. Like I could just like, dude, rest. Like no, I'm gonna put my body through
Deathly Hallows Part 2. Let's go. Yo, speaking of, has there ever been someone in the world, in history, who needs to take a page out of your book and just like J.K. Rowling, just shut up and disappear?
What did she do?
She basically said something about like that really pissed off trans people. I think she was kind of like, you need to have like genders or like sex, like standard sex, like attributes, because I don't know why. She was just saying like everything about me, I'm defined by being a woman, and if you get rid of that, then I don't know. It was very convoluted, but I know the trans people were not happy. But she keeps doing this. She keeps like, this character wasn't gay, or this character was dead, or I don't like trans people. It's like, just billions and go.
I vividly remember she ruined the like comeback for me, where people were like, dude, that person wrote the book. When like someone's like trying to correct them.
Right. It's like, doesn't matter.
I remember someone being like, I saw someone break down the argument like very straight. She said some character was gay. Maybe it was a sorting hat. I forget who it was.
Yeah, I think she made a hat gay, right?
And then someone was like, no, he's not. And someone was like, dude, she literally wrote the book. It's like, that's fine if she wrote the book. But there is nothing, no mention of that. There's no like, you can't just say things mean things. Like it's like red is blue in this book. Well, no, it's not. You didn't describe that. Like there's no way, like, and it was like it ruined it, because there was a period of time when the internet was on her side that about people mansplaining Harry Potter to her, and now it's like, oh no, never mind, we do not. Dude, Taylor Swift unfollowed her. You know how pissed off you're supposed to make Taylor Swift to unfollow you?
Wow, that's how you talk about, like, you blew it. You blew a 28-3 lead on the world. You wrote Harry Potter, and the world loved you, and now everyone just thinks you're like a loudmouth asshole.
Dude, I like Harry Potter too, and I actually like Harry Potter so much I was gonna go to the Broadway show. Do you know about that Broadway show?
I do not know about the Broadway show.
It's like 7 hours. You have to go twice. You have to go 2 times. It's 2 separate shows.
Like today and tomorrow, or like early and late?
Yeah, I think on Saturdays you can do. They'll do Saturdays. They run the first half for the midday, the matinee, and then the second half for the night show. But like otherwise, you have to go like Tuesday night, Wednesday night.
That's preposterous.
And they're like $700 a night. It's crazy.
But I bet the Harry Potter people love that.
I know Fran went. I think she said it was very good.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go as like a casual fan. Can you imagine being like a boyfriend or you drag your girlfriend, they don't know about it, and you're like, well, it's a 2-day show.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do we go to a fucking Harry Potter music festival? Like, I want to go to a play.
Like, who's headlining the first night? Hermione, and tomorrow is Harry. Yo, I probably would fuck with Lost on Broadway though, like a live performance of Lost somehow. See how they can fucking come up with that. It is. The fact that you said you can watch 20 episodes in a day is great, because my takeaway right now, diving back into it, I don't know where they changed or how they changed, if it had to do with binging or budgets or writing or whatever. 25 one-hour episodes being the first season is fucking nuts.
Insane.
That would be 2.5 seasons of like an HBO show. And it's just
also, they haven't changed, Kevin. It's just the good shows aren't on those networks anymore. But those networks are still, there's. I think I still fuck around with The Blacklist. I don't watch it religiously, but like The Blacklist is a good show because it's kind of procedural, like SVU, where you can pop it on. But
it also
there are some relationships that you won't really understand the intricacies of, but like that story will be wrapped up this episode.
Right.
But like The Blacklist is still like 22 episodes a season, I believe.
Crazy, man. And I don't know what they did. Like, they must have known they had a smash hit on their hands, because the first episode cost $14 million. One episode. They bought a Lockheed 747 and they blew it up on the beach. So like they had to buy and recreate like a wreckage, and they did it all on location. And it was like a $14 million. I think it was 2 parts. I think it was like Harry Potter, 2 days. So it was more like 2 episodes, but like $14 million just to get this shit started. Like, do you think that they have like focus groups and stuff where they're like, okay, we know Lost is going to be a hit? Or do you think they were like, all right, 25 episodes ready to roll. The first one cost $14 million. Let's fucking hope they like it.
Dude, focus groups are wrong a lot of the time.
Yeah.
$14 million bet on a focus group is great.
And remember, they said Jack was originally supposed to be Michael Keaton, and he was supposed to die in the pilot. Could you imagine if they had done that, and then like people were like, oh, like the hero is gone, we don't want to watch this show anymore, and you had 24 more episodes to air of just your first season?
How like every show has those crazy stories where it's like, Jesse was supposed to die in season 1, and
right.
The janitor in Scrubs, he was supposed to be in 1 episode, but like ends up being like a huge side part. That's the craziest one though. That's like,
I mean, that's the show. I think they, if I remember correctly, I think they said they wanted an atmosphere of like anybody can catch it, anybody can die, you don't know what's going on, which certainly would have done that. But like, then who would be, I guess, Locke? I don't know. Who would be like the fucking hero? That's what I'll say about Lost. They didn't tie it together. The ending wasn't good, whatever. The first, like, I'm on 15 now. They introduced these characters with the flashbacks and shit. It's like the best storytelling I've ever seen. Every character has a good enough backstory that it could have been like your own series. There could have been a Kate series, a Saeed series, a Jack, a Locke, a Sawyer, and they're just like episode after episode. They introduce someone, tell their story, tie it in perfectly, and start this like whole other world. It might have failed. It might have failed in the end. In the beginning, I think it's like the best TV storytelling, character building maybe ever. It's nuts.
Really?
It's so fucking good, dude. Like everybody, like just the little twists of like I don't even want to spoil it in case people go back and watch, but like there's the big shit, but then every character has a like, oh shit, I didn't realize that, or I can't believe. All of it is incredible.
What's it on?
Hulu and IMDb TV.
Yeah, I've seen that flying around. I don't know what it is, but
it's free, so you can just watch it right now. But if you, it's on Hulu for sure. So if you want to join in and bang it out, I know like Blattman and my brother started rewatching it, and people are talking about it. So,
dude, I've been rewatching a lot, and for some reason I just haven't started new shows. But like I rewatched with my family, and they just think I'm like the greatest TV recommender ever.
You're Steppenwolf to them, bro.
I'm just recommending the best shows of the last 15 years. That's it.
Are you watching like as a family?
Yeah, they've kind of like lost me. I think they're some bloodline. I pop in now more than just the. I watched like season 1, but just from doing things at night and
Yeah.
this weekend.
Are you sitting there like, put your phone down, watch, this is getting important, watch, watch.
At one point, I told my sister, you don't have to watch, right?
That's so great. That's the dad line being like, I'm gonna make you feel this. I'm gonna make you upset. Like I'm gonna hurt your feelings about this.
Like if you want to go upstairs and be on the phone, go upstairs and be on the phone. I allow text messaging. I do not allow social media scroll.
Right. It's like just don't even bother.
If you gotta reply to a text, reply to a text. But if you want to just go fuck around on Twitter, just go fuck around on Twitter.
Yeah. You don't have to watch.
I got a real bitch.
So yeah, I mean, I there's a lot of new shit to watch too, but I also feel like, we got like a month left in quarantine. So I think now is the time for quarantine where it's like things you said you were always going to do. This is it now. Like, are you going to get in shape? Are you going to go watch The Wire? Are you going to read those books? You're down to your last like 4 weeks of it. So get it in now.
Some people might already be out. I mean,
yeah. I'm speaking mostly just for New York at this point. I think we're gonna be the last to open up. But yeah, you might have already missed your chance. But I would say for new shit, I know you were on it for a long time. I just finished High Fidelity, and I didn't even realize that's where our top 5 like segments came from. So it totally hits different for me now.
I believe I admitted that when we started.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to culturally appropriate.
We weren't stealing it, but it was. But I didn't realize how like when you see them do it on their show, it makes me more excited to do ours.
Yeah.
Where it's like they just throw it out when they're drunk at the diner or like fucking around, whatever.
Right.
So, that show's awesome. That's if you like music and just like social friendship, relationship shit. I can't wait for season 2 of that.
That show is like, I might rewatch that again already. I think I watched it at the start of quarantine. It's so good. I wish we could get Jake back on. I mean, he's not on any social media, so we can't even like ask him. But
I know. I remember like we had him on for like the debut of that, right? And I think you had maybe watched like 1 episode or something, and I hadn't watched it all. And I knew him, and he seemed like a cool dude. But now I have so many questions about Zoe Kravitz and the show, and what's real and what's not, and what's this like. So go back.
That show before I got done episode 1, I was Googling where everything is so I could go like visit it, like almost like a pilgrimage to like a 6-week-old show. Like take a pilgrimage to go like, oh wow, this is the Allied bar. And
Did you make a shirt for the Allied?
No, that was just my top 5 bars. That was my number 1 bar, but there's no shot shirt.
I would wear an Allied shirt.
Right now that you've seen that, is that not a bad? That's a great top 5 bar. That's like
unbelievable. Yeah, like you were a victim of like you're too good of a choice, really. Like not that many people are gonna know it. They haven't seen it yet, but the Allied, the scene, I mean, it's perfect. That
even like all the other bars, like all like the most beloved bars, there's like something wrong with them, right? Yeah. Like the Allied is just a great bar.
It's a good bar.
It's just a great dark bar.
It's not called the Allied, but that bar does exist, right?
Yes.
People told me like there's a bar in Crown Heights that it's a different name, but you can go like to that bar, which would be cool enough for me.
I forget. By the way, so I was watching Blacklist the other night, and fucking Robert California,
Reddington?
Raymond Reddington. James Spader. And he's always wearing fedoras. And at one point, Lizzie like has to track him down to get some information about the Blacklist or whatever. And he's hat shopping in my hat shop in the Stetson.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, hang on, like, is that? And I was looking around, I was like, that's like exactly the place I went to get a hat. And then I saw the sign. I was like, oh yeah, that's it.
That's exactly the hat shop. Dude, that's how you know. That's how you know you got a legit hat when Red Reddington's in there.
It's such a great, like, it's such a funny meme. The Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV, but so like it's also so true. Like if you see something, something you recognize or a person you recognize, or like I've been there, guys, I've been there.
Yo, I used to never realize this until I got older, but my dad would always like recognize everything in New York. He'd be like, oh, that's like the Chrysler building and that's Empire State Building. Or I used to work there. And I used to be like floored by it. I was like, my dad knows everything in TV and movies. And then I grew up and I just realized that like 95% of shows are take place in New York. Like, yeah, there's the library, there's the building, there's the park, like whatever. Also, Barstool DVR will have the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire sports doc, 30 for 30 back. I don't know if that's a series or just a one-time thing.
I think it's a one-time thing, which is crazy. Like that.
Yeah, that's after everybody got all gassed up. I feel like it was like, all right, more sports docs, and now it's just a one-night thing. Which I feel like you could have told. It could have been like 10 parts because you could do 5 for McGuire, 5 for Sosa, or do half and half of each episode and like chronicle the whole season and steroids.
It's
and
also like, I feel like this one isn't going to be very good just because like I don't think people are for a documentary to be good. I think that people, and maybe it'll be good, interesting from their perspective, but like the MLB needs to say we knew what was happening, we let it happen. Like that's a whole storyline that's just going to be ignored because the MLB is not ready to admit that.
Right. Yeah. If you're not going to mention steroids, if you're not going to mention like saving baseball from the strike, like in order to tell those stories, you have to talk about 2 major black eyes for baseball that they're probably not going to bring up at all.
And it'll be interesting from their perspective, like how like great that summer was for them and the media attention, blah blah blah. But there's a significant portion of that story that's not going to be told.
It's still fascinating to me that like the record stood forever, and then I mean it's because of steroids, but the fact that like 2 dudes were both like, you know, we're going to eradicate this record like in the same season is fucking wild to me. I wonder if
it's also crazy to me that it still doesn't happen because the steroids still happen. So did they just change their swing? Like, why doesn't it happen anymore? Because steroids still happen. I
mean, it still happens, but I feel like it's not like full blown like Hulk anabolic steroids, is it?
No, they don't look at there. There's one video of Mark McGuire. I think he's in Toronto. Maybe he's in Seattle, where he's playing on the bases. It looks outrageous. It looks like a toy, like a G.I. Joe toy soldier running on the bases. He doesn't. I don't know what size his uniform was. He doesn't even come close to fitting it.
He has like a toothpick in his hands, and I'm sure it's like a tree trunk in real life. His bat, but it looks like he's just like nicking it with like a little wiffle ball bat, and the balls just go so fucking far.
I think the decline of steroids has a lot more to do with players taking them differently rather than them being out of the game. Like players are now like working on fast twitch muscles and being 5-tool players rather than just like sluggers because they're not gone. It's just they're better at taking them.
Do you think that they also like if you get bulked up, it's like a red flag? So they're like, I can't look that way or else I'll get caught.
Yeah, so they're more like working on lean muscle and shit like that. And
fuck a lean muscle. If I was in the league right now, juice me up, let me hit 75 in a season, and then you can suspend me for life. But peace. I left my mark on the game. Fuck you. I'm gone.
That was Brady Anderson's comment.
Yeah. Yes. So, and I just feel the need, if we're going to talk about steroids in baseball real quick, Albert Bell not being in the Hall of Fame, it's insane. It's insane.
I didn't know he was not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he had a run of like 45 to 55 home runs a year for like 10 years. And he had shit like, he had like 169 RBIs, like monster numbers.
I remember, I forget what year it was, and maybe the facts will prove my memory wrong here. But I remember it was pre-All-Star break, and Carlos Delgado had something like 115 RBIs. It was in. You know,
Juan Gonzalez was like that. Juan Gon almost broke the record one year, and he had like 110 at the break, and he somehow didn't break the record. But yeah, I mean, some of those numbers. You know, he's not in the Hall of Fame either. Carlos Delgado. He was on the ballot once, and he didn't get enough votes to like stick around on the ballot. He's fucking awesome.
In 2003, Delgado had 97 at the All-Star break.
Bananas. Just
Juan Gonzalez had 101 in 98.
Yep.
Manny Ramirez had 96 and 99. Dude, Manny Ramirez. I don't think we talked about this. That picture of Manny and Poppy. Manny Ramirez is a 70-year-old Dominican man. It's like he's such an impressive athlete. And then when you realize that he was 50 years old when he was doing it all, not like we thought he was like 33. He was 50. It's like it's crazy how old he looks. He looks so, and not like it's not even like he looks old. He looks his age.
No, yeah.
Like he looks like a guy who's 65 years old and played baseball and was in shape and all that stuff. He looks like a healthy 65-year-old, but he just looks like a 65-year-old.
Because he is a healthy 60. Same thing with Pujols. Like Pujols was like 5 years older than he said he was, and he fucking looks it, and he's always looked it. But he was he almost, the only reason he didn't win the MVP when he was a rookie was because of Barry Bonds. Otherwise, Albert Pujols would have won the MVP as a rookie. And it looked like, oh, man, this guy's like, he looks like he's in the prime of his career. Because he fucking was. Did
Pedroia won it as a rookie, didn't he?
Did he? I'm not saying he didn't, like, nobody's ever done it. Ichiro did it too. But, like, he had a bomb-ass season. And it was only because Bonds, I think, had, like, his 73 home run year or some shit like that. But it was like, yeah, this dude, he looks like well beyond his years. He looks like he's in his age 27 season. Well, because he fucking is. That's a huge difference when you're talking like 4 or 5 years. It's nuts. Voicemails?
Pedroia won Rookie of the Year 07, MVP 08.
Man, what a run from him, huh?
Oh, Nick, speaking of baseball, Nick just reminded us. They were talking about it on Barstool Radio, so just going to bring it out there real quick again. Theo Epstein's the craziest person who's ever lived. And they were talking about how it was crazy that he would follow people home because, like, they wouldn't recognize him and he just wanted to see what a normal life was like.
Which, by the way, let's not discount that. It's fucking crazy.
That's insane. Yeah. It has nothing on him hanging out at his office in the middle of the night at Fenway Park, listening to planes crash. Listening to I'm going to get exactly what it was, but that's what it was.
It was wasn't it like Breaking Bad? It was like the air traffic controller reports.
Yes. It was
crashing into each other.
Okay, so here's the full paragraph. During the Red Sox famous chicken and beer collapse, he didn't sleep. Staff members made jokes about waiting on the sun to rise, mocking their own despair. But on a few bad nights, when things felt bleak, Theo would wander the internet, lingering in macabre things like air traffic controller recordings from plane crashes. He knew he needed to leave Boston to start fresh, no matter how the collapse made the exit look or feel. I hated I was seen as running from the collapse, he says, but I guess on some level I was running from something. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
And it's not baseball, bro. It's your own inner goddamn demons. By the way, macabre. Great word. Great word. Awesome one. Yeah, Theo, I mean, he's the man who dressed up in gorilla costumes and ran around like chasing people.
He didn't chase anyone. That was just so he could escape Fenway without anyone recognizing him. I mean, Theo's got he's just clearly a man with some like pretty serious like depression and mental issues, but it was an anxiety issue.
Weird at parties? Didn't he used to like just sit in the corner and play the guitar at parties or some shit like that?
I forgot. I don't know that one. I can't speak to that.
I think there's some story about him at like a party with like Eddie Vedder and like it was like a bomb party with like a lot of people.
Oh, him and like Eddie Vedder are like best friends. So like I'm sure he does that a lot.
Yeah. The more and more I realize it is I feel like you have to be just like a total weirdo on some level to achieve like any level of greatness. You know, you got to be like a lunatic like Jordan or a little bit off like Theo or like to be a funny comedian, you have to have like a dark past. It's like if you're normal, just give up on greatness because you're never going to have it.
Someone replied to when I tweeted that, like the paragraph, someone replied and said, imagine explaining to the man who invented baseball that this is the level of stress it will cause one day. He's like, oh no, I was just talking about going out back with your kids and hitting a ball with a stick. Like, why are you inside listening to air traffic controllers report plane crashes, dude?
That is the darkest thing you can come up with. Like if I was scripting like a depressing scene, I'd be like, that's too much. We can't do that.
Like to be like, why would he do that? Like, I don't know. He's just really fucked up. Like he just sits there listening to like Mayday, 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 like pull up.
And then he's just like, next one.
Like, well, night's still dark. Got time. Cracks a beer. Hits play again.
All right, voicemails today are brought to you by Simply Safe. If you're trying to take care of your family and your loved ones, if you want to make sure, I mean, crazy times, right? There's a lot of violence, a lot of unrest, a lot of uncertainty, and that's where Simply Safe comes in with the number one security system out there in the world right now, the easiest, the most affordable, the most simplistic, and I've been seeing some Simply Safe commercials recently where you get a more of a visual of it. It's just like this little hub that you plug in, almost looks like a speaker. It's got like a doorbell with a lock that turns on it. You can do everything remotely from your phone. I mean, when you see this how simple this is, this whole security system, you open the box, you have each of these pieces, you plug it in, you charge it up, you set them all over your house, and you have protection for your house around the clock. No technician needs to come. No salesperson needs to talk you through it. Nobody's disrupting your house. You're not letting any strangers in. You do it all yourself. You also are not tied into any contracts. There's no long-term agreements. There's no multi-year signing. There's no outrageous monthly fees. All you do is get it up front for just 50 cents a day. you can get your entire family and all your worldly possessions safe with Simply Safe. Go to Simply Safe with an I, SIMPLI, safe.com/KFC radio, and you'll get free shipping plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't feel safe or the alarm system doesn't work up to your standards, you can send it back for free, get your money back. It's simplysafe.com/KFC radio. You get protection from burglaries, fires, floods, any sort of other threats for your house, and it starts at just 50 cents a day. Simplysafe.com/KFC radio. Voicemails, let's do it, Nick.
What up, KFC, Fights, BC? Quick question. If you could live on the moon, but the only stipulation was that you had to be among the first 10 people there, would you do it? Let me know what you think. Viva.
We've done this in different variations before. Would you rather be the first 1,000 people off the planet or the last 1,000 people on? I think 10 is too few, though.
I think 10's too few. There's not enough. You could, like, if you put me with 100 people, I'll find someone I like. You put me with 10 people.
Oh, so you're worried about just the company you keep?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the first 10 people on any expedition are like, you're dead.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's going to be 10.
Okay, you can hand pick them.
Done.
Yeah, because then.
Well, no, because, like, there's no infrastructure there. There's no bars to go to. There's no.
Yeah.
So the answer is no. The answer is no. Because, like, I just.
All right. What if I told you this? What if I told you there's like a moon state, like a space station, a base on the moon? It's not going to be, the fucking coolest place in the world, but you're going to have somewhere to sleep. You're going to have somewhere to eat. There'll be some sort of like center. You ever watch like Star Trek back in the day? They have like a bar, kind of like a restaurant on the thing, and then their quarters and all that shit.
I never saw Star Trek, but I saw the one that Chris Pratt and whatever and Jennifer Lawrence are in, where it's
similar to that. Like there's going to be maybe a couple bartenders or robots or some shit to help you out, and you'll have like a place to hang out, a place to eat and live. Not going to be glamorous, but then if
Wi-Fi,
huh?
Is there Wi-Fi?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have like, well, are you saying like you want to be on like Twitter and like the regular internet? So you want Earth's internet on the moon?
Yeah. Making a lot of demands, and you're making a lot of, I can't think of the word, but it begins with a C.
Concessions.
Concessions. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, but I'm not giving you Earth's internet on the moon. You can communicate. You can you have like a, when you see these people, they talk like on Zoom, like in Interstellar, you can like leave a video message. You can communicate, but I'm not allowing you on like Instagram and shit. Because then you're just living at home. You're just in quarantine again.
I was trying to see how far you'd go, Kev. The answer's got to be no there.
And you get people. That's it.
Now, because a different answer than what I would have given you a different answer 4 months ago. But now that I've done it in a sense, I miss a lot, and I can't have too much routine, because like I even like tried changing up my routine here, where people said like it's good to keep a routine.
Yeah.
Like my routine is chaos. My routine is not having a routine. So like I do what?
It's just you speak in like Chinese riddles, like fortune cookie riddles sometimes. It's like, what? My routine is chaos. Okay, wacko.
But like it is like I don't know. I'm not used to having a schedule.
Yeah.
So like when I first came here, I was like working outside. I was working in the garage all the time.
Yeah.
And then it was like I worked from bed a bit. I worked from here a bit. Where I try to work outside. I work out at different times. Like everything is just, it keeps me on your toes. I don't like routine. And if you're just like with 10 people in space for the rest of your life, you're gonna fall into routines, and that's not for me.
What if you get to pick the 10 people? Could be famous, pretty, whatever, and they're all gonna like you for it. Like if going to the moon was like they won the lottery by having John Henry pick them, so you'd be like the man up there with your pick of 10 people.
No, you're making it worse. You like there's got 10 people who are thrilled to hang out with me. I don't like hanging out with people who are happy to hang out with me. I want someone who like mildly accepts the fact that I'm there. That's like it's not like I don't want it to be a thing that like thank God we're with Fights. Yeah. Be like, oh, fights is here. That's what I strive for. Like, hey, I like a high. I don't like too much more attention than that. When I walk in, what's up? And that's it.
Oh, back to your whiskey. That's it. But it would be kind of cool if you were like drinking like whiskey on the moon with like The Rock or some shit.
It'd be cool for a night. Then after that, I just got a friend who's okay. Like once I stop.
Okay, one more thing. What if you could bring anyone from history, alive, dead? Like you could bring Paul Walker to the moon with you.
Oh yeah, then I just bring 10 dead people.
But then, I mean, they're gonna be alive again.
Yeah. But like that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, but that's cool. Like anything, that's cool until it's not cool anymore.
I mean, what's cool about having Paul Walker back on the moon? It's not like you get to watch more Paul Walker movies. You just like Paul Walker's on the moon with you. That's it.
No. I'm that. If I were to do something like that, that would strictly be so like how people talked about me on Earth. I'd probably find the whole experience miserable. But people are like, dude, fights on the moon with just 10 dead dudes right now. like somehow fights has MLK on the moon with him. Like him, Paul Walker. Okay. All right. Fuck it.
Do 5. You don't have to do 10. Give me 5.
All right. Let's see. Straight up dead dudes. All right. JFK, MLK.
Yep.
We'll go. I'm trying to think. Like I don't even know. Fucking.
I think I'd bring back Kobe.
Oh no, he made me like work out and stuff. Like, Wizard Jump Shot sucks, dude. Like, yeah, I know, man. I fucking blog. Like,
again,
you don't want to get better? Like, not really, man.
The existence for you would be terrible. But if you were just like back on Earth, they were like, yo, he's up there with the Mamba. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's true. But like, there's a certain line where it's like, okay, this is cool. And then it's like, well, now you're encroaching upon my personal space, Kobe Bryant. And like
I'll bring it back. I'm going to bring you to the moon with me, Kobe. Under one condition, you don't make me work out. You don't bother me at all.
I brought you back to life. Is this not enough for you? Like, I need to be able to hit an NBA 3 too, like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He would be such a dick to you. He'd be running sprints and making you do it. Like, I wish I never brought you back, Kobe. I wish you were dead on Earth instead of alive on the moon.
Okay, Bowie. Bowie, MLK. MLK would be fun just because, like, MLK I would have the most fun with because I'd be like, look, this is how people use your message now. And he'd be like, what? Are you kidding me? This
totally wrong. Totally.
This is how you remember me? What the hell? And, like, we just bitch about people. He'd be my most fun because we just bitch about how people act.
You know what I would love to, like, I would love to get MLK's thoughts, anybody's thoughts on, like, their big speech. Like, if MLK was like, I had a dream. I wrote that in the shower, dude. Like, I came up with that in like 15 minutes. You guys are still talking about that? Yeah. That was like a thing that me and my buddy used to joke about that I put in at the last second. It'd be awesome.
I feel like that, like anyone who gets remembered, like, must resent what they're remembered for. Like,
yeah. Or it was never like that was not meant to be their lasting, JFK, like, dude, ask not what you're for country. Like, I didn't care about that. I just need to say that in the moment. Do what you can do for your country. Fuck off.
I know there's a Boston athlete with quite a legacy, and he hates it. He's like, I didn't even do the right thing that play. Like, it's Gregory Campbell, and he was like, he broke his leg, and he like stayed on the ice for too long, and it was like, from what I've heard, he's like, I should have gotten off the ice, like, which I've always said, and people said I was wrong because he was on the ice for a minute and a half, and it was like, it would have been a 5-on-3 for 20 seconds if he went to the bench, rather than a 5-on-3 and a half for a minute and a half.
For a minute and a half.
And
and people revere it as a good move.
Oh, it's like heroic, yeah.
Because he's tough guy, but it wasn't like.
Yeah. And he's never told me that person, never read it, but it's just what I've heard. But
that's why those history reimagined like stories and books and movies. People eat that shit up because it's like the what's the phrase, like whoever wins the war writes the history books or whatever the fuck it is. It's like there's always more to the story. It just depends on who gets to tell it. So let us know, who would you bring back from the dead and or live on the moon with if you could go and you had a bar but no Wi-Fi. That's it. Next voicemail. I love this is just such a roundabout way to be like, would you guys buy a whore? That's all this is. Would you guys engage in prostitution or not? Like, he's talking about quarantine and Snapchat. This is just a girl who wants you to pay her money for sucking your dick. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, aren't like dating apps overrun with like sex workers and things like that? You just stumbled upon a prostitute.
I love the phrase. I hope it was literal. I hope he wasn't paraphrasing. I'm happy to give you some head. That's unreal. If the price is right, I'm happy to give you a little bit of head. It has nothing to do with quarantine, dude.
But it has everything to do with quarantine. Quarantine's like the great excuse. Like, it's like, well, it's quarantine. So
yeah, I was buying whores, but it was April 2020. It doesn't count. So would you do it?
Yeah, no, I would not do it. I would be far too worried about that. I don't like. I'm scared of social media, of dating apps, because of just like what my game would look like if it leaked. If someone was like, oh, like this is how John texts like a girl he's interested in or whatever. I don't want to dip my toe in the prostitution ring of Tinder.
Imagine, you know what you would be terrible at? I would love John's Snapchat prostitution negotiations to leak. Like, I'm happy to give you a head. It's going to cost you like $500. And John's like, I'll give you $475. Sold. Like, no. I feel like a lot of people probably did, though, in quarantine. And depending on where you are, I bet you in New York, there were people who were like, I can't go out and just get laid like usual. And like the only people who are willing to break the rules and shit are going to be like sex workers. I bet you prostitution went up during quarantine.
Yeah, you're probably right. But like, who needs to get laid that bad?
Oh, John, you got to remember, you don't like sex.
But like that bad, where it's like, I'm going to invite a stranger into my house during a global pandemic. I'll get by.
Well, really, that's what you're doing when you hook up anyway. You're just like, I found this stranger at the bar. We're going to have sex. I'm going to come back to my house.
But there's 100,000 people haven't died from something that person might have. Like, not, at least not in the last month or so. Maybe in the last 20 years, but not in the last 3 months. It's just a crazy. I don't know. I guess I just don't understand sex.
The risk. Understand sex. Do you think coronavirus is gonna come back?
I think if you told me I could never have sex again, I'd be fine.
I mean, you can just do that, right? You just don't have to have sex if you don't want to.
But like, it's not like I don't want to. I just think I'd survive. I wouldn't. You wouldn't. I don't think you'd catch me in a year being like, man, I haven't had sex in a year. I'm going crazy. Like I enjoy it. It's fun, but like it is not like a medical. I'm gonna come out clean. I don't have a sex addiction.
John is the first anti-sex addict.
I just admitted it on this radio show, on this podcast. I do not have a sex addiction.
Do you think coronavirus is going to come back?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He said that so casually but the rest of the world doesn't think so. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, like the protesters ended coronavirus. Like, no, they fucking didn't.
Well, they did. Like they did.
They ended the news discussion. They didn't end the disease.
They ended the news discussion and they ended the lockdown. They're like, hey, by the way, this is over. And it's like, oh, okay.
But people are like, oh, so we're safe now. It's like, no, they're gonna get sick in like 2 weeks. You fucking.
Yeah, no. I think someone said that like for the foreseeable future, 5,000 to 10,000 Americans will die a day. A week. And it's just like.
This time it's okay.
That's just something
like back in the day, people not back in the day, but a couple months ago, everyone was like crying over that, and now people are like, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, basically.
It's all PR, man. Let's do one more voicemail, and we'll get out of here. It's brought to you by the Zebra. I pay so much goddamn money for my insurance that it is bananas. I don't know what's going on. My car insurance is through the roof. Probably has to do with a bunch of goddamn car accidents. But I need to renegotiate.
You're the greatest driver in the world with the most speeding tickets and the highest car insurance ever.
It's not me, John. I don't have any accidents. I pay for other people's insurance who got into fucking accidents. It's not my fault. But I do have a lot of tickets. I do have a shit.
Defund the police.
So the Zebra is a service that takes all of the different deals for your home insurance and your car insurance, and it puts it all together in one comparison so you can find the best quotes side by side from over 100 providers and choose the best for you in 90 seconds or less. That will never sell your information to any spammers, so you're not going to get any unwanted calls or emails. You just answer a few quick questions, fill out a form, find the best rate, and you get coverage, best coverage and most affordable coverage in your state. TechCrunch calls it the Zebra as the kayak for auto insurance. So if you've ever booked a trip with hotels and airlines and stays all in one spot so you can find the best deal, that's what these guys do for auto insurance and home insurance. It's completely free, and right now you can save up to $670 per year using thezebra.com. Go to THEZEBRA, thezebra.com/KFC, and find out how much you can save on car and home insurance today. That's thezebra.com/KFC.
What's up, guys? First time, long time. I was listening to the episode last week and you were talking about how you hate when it's uncomfortably hot in your house. I've been living at this place for about 3 years now, and every summer the AC goes out for a long period of time, about a couple weeks, which in the middle of summer it sucks. So it got me thinking about how, what would you give up if you could always live at a comfortable temperature? I know you guys said during the episode that 68 was your comfortable temperature, which I totally agree with. But what would you give up to live your life always at 68, whether you're inside or outside? Viva.
I mean, first of all, okay, what are you doing, dude? Like 3 years in a place where you just know the AC goes out. Like, you could have said, like, all right, so every summer for a few weeks, marauders raid the village and light everything on fire. Like we just move, man. Stop. Don't live in that place.
I agree with you, but like the amount of people who are just like, we live in the hurricane zone, and like every August and September we might lose our house. I just wouldn't live there.
But there's a difference between like this guy doesn't have to change locales. We just get a new apartment. You move down the street.
It's a fucking problem. Yeah.
Right. It's like I understand that, like, you know,
your home.
You're home and you're like that, and that's one thing. But to just be like, this apartment complex, the air conditioner breaks every summer for the whole summer.
I mean, you were staring down the barrel of like no AC for like 2 weeks and one time, and you were like, if this goes on a day longer, I'm leaving.
I did it. I did one full summer in New York, no AC.
Oh.
It was.
I don't know if it's if as I get older, I'm getting spoiled, or if I'm getting less tolerant, or if I'm making some more money. But like, I remember being a kid, and I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with the AC, where it was just like, I don't know, you open the window, maybe you have a box fan, and you sweat, and it's just like, that's just how it goes. And it's just like, that's not an option anymore.
No.
It is a non-starter.
But also, okay, so I wouldn't want this. I'd sacrifice nothing for this, because I don't want it to be 68 all the time.
Wait, yeah. So what's the actual hypothetical here at the end?
Like, what would you sacrifice to have the temperature, your perfect temperature at all times?
All the time. Yeah.
I don't want that.
Why? You want it to be like, with there is no light without the darkness sort of thing. You want to know what it's like when it's not 68, so that when you get into 68, you feel good.
Yeah, I kind of more of my routine is chaos type thing, because I just like not knowing what's going to happen. I don't look at the weather. I just walk outside every day. I get dressed without checking the weather. I walk outside, and that's what I wear. But I like it when it's gonna be freezing next week. That's cool with me. Or if I go outside, I want there to be a change. I want like the escape of air conditioning possible. Like when I go to the beach, I don't want it to be 68.
Yeah, I get what you mean. You need, what's your famous phrase? Something about the variety of life. You're a big variety guy.
No, it's actually routine still. No, I forget. I don't know.
I think you just like there to be
routine is the death of interest, according to Nick.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I guess that was not the right. I guess it all kind of ties in, but the same way you can't do any exercise unless it's like constantly changing. You're just like a goldfish. You just can't have, just like constantly new.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm becoming like the other day it was 80, low 80s, mid 80s. I was like, I'm done with summer. I'm done with it. I don't want it anymore. Like my tolerance for these things that I don't like I used to be like, oh, it's the first day, it's 80 degrees, I'm going to go to the beach or I'll lay out or whatever. Now that I'm not doing those things, as soon as I'm uncomfortable, I want the new season. I had one day of summer and I was over it.
That's enough. I'm the same way. I've become, I don't think it's like a goldfish. I think I've just become like a rude old man.
Yeah. You're becoming an old white man. That's what it is.
It's like, I'm done doing this. I don't do this anymore. And that's it. And that's fine. It's like, I do at dinner tables. I do it at bars. I do it in conversations. I do it that, like, my mom and my girlfriend, like, just, they know now, they're like, you're done with this. And then like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And it's like, yeah, you're right. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I can't fake.
You can't fake it anymore. You spend the first like 28 years of your life faking it. And then by the time you're pushing 30, you're just like, I'm not even going to pretend anymore. I'm not going to pretend to like the beach. I'm not going to pretend to like this movie. I'm not going to pretend to like this conversation or whatever the fuck it is.
There's Larry David's girlfriend. Like, this is what I strive to have one day. She says she loves riding his coattails because when he's out and he decides he's done, he just gets up and walks away. And everyone's like, classic Larry. And and she has to get up and leave because he got up and left.
Right.
And like, it's beautiful. Like, people say, classic Larry. And I just
the best thing in life. It's when you get the Manny being Manny treatment, or in Larry David's case, it's like, start grooming the world for you to be basically a selfish asshole.
Yeah.
And do whatever you want and find a way to make the rest of the public find it endearing. Like, that John, he hasn't ever engaged in anything he doesn't want to do. He doesn't leave his comfort zone at all. Classic. It's great.
I can fake it for like serious things.
Yeah.
But I can't fake it for something that just doesn't matter. I can't anymore.
You shouldn't. Life's too short, bro.
So the answer is I would sacrifice nothing because I don't want this to happen. I would not want that. I don't want to live in San Diego, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I would probably, maybe not 68, but I would probably sacrifice something to be like, all right, it's never going to be 90 again, and it's never going to be like 0 again. I might want to, you still give me the range, but I don't want the extremes.
Man, I like a 0. I love a 0, in fact.
No.
Because there's something about the cold that doesn't happen with the heat. Like, people aren't like, a cold brings camaraderie. Cold brings people together.
Yeah, I mean, you catch 100-degree day in the city, and there'll be like 25 murders overnight.
Yeah,
like when the temperature goes up, Chicago becomes a bloodbath. In the cold, it's like everybody just like hunkers down and snuggles up, and it's fine.
Yeah, cold brings you a common enemy. You're like, we're gonna beat this by being at a bar and just drinking in jackets.
Right.
And but heat is just like everyone hides from.
Yeah, that's true. Boy, your boy's getting philosophical with the temperatures out here. All right, that's it for us. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll have some interviews for you. We'll get into our Am I the Assholes. Make sure you tweet at us your top 5s, your moon hypotheticals, and whatever else from today's episode. And we'll catch you guys next KFC Radio.